Neville Chamberlain, the most popular man in Europe. The man who saved the peace.
Appeasement is not simply the right policy, but the only policy if we are to avoid the catastrophe of another terrible war. It means conceding the dictators their legitimate demands, but nothing more. Until we are rearmed, our position is one of great anxiety. Last year in Munich, we let Herr Hitler have part of Czechoslovakia. He promised me that that was the end of his territorial claims. Our only hope of doing business with him is to take him at his word.
To say some things that will be hard to swallow, but just remember, we have no choice.
The President and Foreign Minister of Czechoslovakia.
Your Excellency, I thank you for receiving me at this late hour. For years, I have followed your ideas with interest and wanted to meet you. Your Excellency, Your Excellency, I am convinced that the fate of Czechoslovakia is safe in your hands. You, of all men, will understand my belief that Czechoslovakia, now that it has been relieved of its German minority, has the right to exist as a nation.
President Haka, you asked to see me. I regret that I have required you to undertake this long journey at such short notice. Your country is disintegrating. I have decided to restore order. I have to tell you that it is only a matter of hours now before German troops arrive in Prague. The German people do not feel any hatred for the Czechs. But the only reason that your country was created 19 years ago was that Britain and France wanted a weapon against Germany. Czech governments have repeatedly sided with my enemies. I thought I'd put an end to all this when we got rid of your predecessor last autumn. But your new regime has made no difference. So, in a few hours' time, at 6 o'clock this morning, the German army will advance from all sides, and the German Air Force will occupy Czech airfields. If the entry of the German troops takes place satisfactorily, it will be possible for me to accord your people autonomy, a generous way of life of their own, and a measure of national liberty. But if it comes to a battle tomorrow, resistance will be broken by force with all available means. And for me to grant these concessions will be impossible. By tomorrow, Czechoslovakia will cease to exist. The world will not move a muscle. It is up to you to prevent the worst. There are only 4 hours left.
But how? In a space of 4 hours, how can I restrain the whole Czech people?
The military machine now in motion cannot be stopped. If you want to prevent bloodshed, you'd better telephone to Prague at once and instruct your Minister of War to order the Czech troops to offer no resistance. This is the last good turn I can render the Czech people.
The line to Prague's out of order.
Keep trying. It's nearly 3 o'clock. There isn't much time.
Prague is such a beautiful city. What a shame if my bombers have to smash it.
Hello? Hello?
Send for Dr. Memel, quickly. I hope nothing happens to him.
You don't want a dead Czech in the Chancellery.
It has been a very strenuous day for such an old man.
Dr. Morel gave him an injection. He's all right now. He's given instructions to Prague.
I accept this request to take the Czech people under the protection of the German Reich.
The fact is that the state, whose frontier we undertook to guarantee, is now completely broken up. So, what can we do? If we make any protest, Master Hitler will say that the Czech government invited him in. Legally, we haven't got a leg to stand on. Foreign Secretary.
Certainly, Prime Minister. But as we all accept that the military occupation of Czechoslovakia is in complete contravention of the Munich Agreement, wouldn't you agree that it is important to find language which makes it plain to the House that Germany is now being led on a dangerous path?
Chancellor.
I think it would not be wise to emphasize that, Prime Minister. Your statement should simply make it clear that we no longer have any obligation, legal or moral, to the Czechs. If we couldn't help a much stronger Czechoslovakia last September, there's plainly no possibility we can help her now. Empty threats mean nothing.
I fear that's true. Master Hitler has shown that he cannot be trusted to keep an agreement. Nevertheless, I've come to the conclusion that for the moment, there is nothing we can do. A muted statement, I think. Is that agreed? Secretary of State for War.
But, Prime Minister, isn't there an important point of principle here? Hitler's always claimed he's only returning Germans their rightful place in the Reich, but now he's blatantly taken non-Germans.
This is not the moment for the Cabinet to discuss these larger issues, nor is it the time to discuss fundamental changes in policy. We are here to discuss what I should tell the House this afternoon, and that, I think, is agreed. Thank you, gentlemen.
The city of Memel in Lithuania, close to our German borders. This Baltic port has for centuries been the dwelling place of German traders. A naval force, led personally by the Führer, Chancellor Adolf Hitler, enters Memel. Only 1 week after German troops brought peace to Czechoslovakia, Memel is gloriously reunited with the Reich.
I was terribly ill for the whole trip. I hate to admit it, but I'm not a good sailor. I was kept up half the night on that dreadful ship, waiting for the Lithuanians to make up their minds. Oh, God, was I seasick. But it doesn't show. Is it?
No, not at all, Führer.
No, certainly not, Führer. Certainly not.
Now, to come to the point, Lord Halifax was most anxious for me to see you. So now, what's this news you can't publish in your newspaper?
My sources, and they've been accurate in the past, urged me to pass it directly to the government. They tell me that Memel's not the end of it. Hitler's next target is Poland. Chancellor, we must act firmly to support her.
And, how shall we be firm?
By imposing a naval blockade on Germany.
That means war.
Yes, sir.
Were you in the last war?
No. I was only 6 when it ended.
Well, I was in the cabinet. And Lord Halifax was a rather junior backbencher. And it's all only 20 years ago. Well, thank you for coming to see me. I can assure you that any decision that is taken will be the result of complete agreement between the Prime Minister and myself, and, of course, the Foreign Secretary. Can you see yourself out?
Führer, I have here the plan you ordered from the SS. Regarding the invasion of Poland, to prove to the foreigners that the Poles are the aggressors and struck the first blow. They suggest this. On the night before we attack, 150 Germans dressed as Polish soldiers engineer incidents, provocations along the frontier.
Go on.
These Germans, dressed as Poles, will seize our own radio station at Gleiwitz and broadcast anti-German slogans. In Polish, of course.
That's stupid. The foreign journalists are so biased, they'll say it's a Nazi trick.
There will be photographs.
Ribbentrop, forgive me, the SS have gone crazy. What are they going to do, these pseudo-Polish soldiers? Pose for the cameraman?
No, Führer, it's easier than that. Some of them will be dead.
These Germans dressed as Poles are going to kill them?
Yes, but it's all right. The ones we kill will come from concentration camps. Jews, communists, convicts, homosexuals. They'll be made to put on the Polish uniforms, taken to Gleiwitz, and shot beside the radio station.
I don't know. The army could give me trouble over this. They don't like being involved in illegal operations.
That's why the SS will have to do it for you.
I like it.
I'm sorry I'm late. There's a mob outside the German embassy. It's very nearly a riot. The police are doing their best, but people are throwing stones, shouting slogans.
What slogans?
Oh, just a lot of noise. Chanting.
What slogans? They think I'm being too friendly with the Germans, isn't that it? Yes, yes. My friendship with Germany has always paid off. Hitler has spoken to me man to man, soldier to soldier. He's never deceived me. He even told me about his plans to take Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, I know, Minister. I was there.
Well,
What is this urgent matter you cannot discuss on the telephone?
I saw Ribbentrop last night. He wants you to go to Berlin for talks with him and Hitler. Immediately.
I know. Czechoslovakia. Hacha was summoned to Berlin before the Germans marched into Prague. Well, I am not that pathetic old man.
Danzig is obviously Hitler's next target.
I've told him till I'm blue in the face. Danzig cannot become a part of Germany.
Minister, Ribbentrop is insisting upon an answer. He says if we give up Danzig, he will compensate us with something from Czechoslovakia. If we refuse...
Hitler's been marching all across Europe with a lot of bluff. And saber rattling. Well, that's not enough to overcome Poland. Hitler knows this. We won't crumble like the others. I shall not go to Berlin.
It's so childish, upsetting Ribbentrop.
I like upsetting Ribbentrop.
Did you expect to get away with it?
If I told Ribbentrop I was stopping off to see the Duce, he'd have tried to stop me. You know his trouble? He wants to do everything himself.
Be that as it may, I've asked Ribbentrop to begin preparations for a solution to the Polish problem.
Poland? It's one of my responsibilities.
Well, you will take holidays. And Ribbentrop thought you wouldn't want to be disturbed. Danzig must return to the Reich. Now, a city where a majority of the citizens are German is a German city. Danzig is a strip of flesh cut from the body of Germany. Poles have a simple choice. They can hand it over and retain our friendship, or we shall invade them. And then we won't stop at Danzig.
And if Britain and France come to Poland's aid, what does Ribbentrop have to say about that?
You leave that to me.
But we're not ready for a war on that scale yet.
I have prepared all my moves skillfully. Poland will be no different.
Edward! Rab.
How are you, Neville?
Oh, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I've been lying awake, constantly fearful of a surprise air attack. The way Hitler's behaving, you can't exclude anything.
Might indeed embark on some mad dog act, especially with the Ribbentrop egging him on.
I'm sorry, Prime Minister, to raise the subject again, but perhaps it's time to bring in conscription.
No, Leslie, you have a bee in your bonnet about that. The country's not ready for it yet. Well, gentlemen, as the Americans say, where do we go from here?
To Poland. That young journalist and other sources indicate that Poland is Hitler's next target. He really can't be allowed to get away with it. We must issue a warning immediately that if he attacks Poland, we go to her aid.
It seems a rather heroic act on somewhat suspect information. Are you saying, Edward, that if Germany moves against Poland, we'll be committed to fight?
Exactly. We must prevent the Germans becoming so powerful they menace our security. Perhaps you'd feel better, John, if you thought of it not so much as saving Poland as saving ourselves.
But you're suggesting we back the Poles unconditionally. It's tantamount to leaving it to a jumped-up Second Division European power to decide whether the British Empire should be involved in war.
It mustn't come to that. I fervently hope, John, that a firm declaration of our willingness to support Poland will deter Master Hitler from attack. He won't want to take on Britain and France as well as Poland. I propose we offer to guarantee Poland's independence.
But, Prime Minister...
Then we shall need to bring in the Russians.
The Poles won't like that. And I won't disguise my own reluctance. I profoundly distrust Stalin. He's a rather unlikely ally to choose to defend democracy.
Indeed, Prime Minister. A Russian alliance would be a red rag to Hitler, if you'll forgive the pun. Surely we can find a less provocative device.
I had thought of writing to Mussolini. He's probably the only person who can put the brakes on Hitler. He did before.
We must be careful to avoid anything which smacks of another Munich.
And on the contrary, we must use Mussolini to convince Hitler that our declaration of support for the Poles is serious.
He's due about now. Do you want me to stay?
If you wish to.
I do urge you not to press him about the Russians. Chamberlain isn't ready.
I'm perfectly aware of your view.
Surely it's more important to raise the question of conscription.
On that, at least, you and I agree.
His Excellency, the British Ambassador.
Sir Eric, I hope you have come to discuss the alliance with Russia.
No, I've no instructions on that today.
Please.
Mr. Chamberlain would like to have your help on a different matter. Is there anything you can do to make Mussolini better disposed to help us?
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to surrender French territory?
The Italians are making extravagant claims, but...
These men are gangsters. They're in with Hitler up to the hilt.
Mussolini was very helpful over Munich.
Only because he wasn't ready for war. I'm beginning to regret we didn't stand our ground at Munich. If we'd had stood firm there, Hitler and Mussolini would have given way. Now they think they can grab anything they want. Your Excellency, at the end of the week, we're announcing the call-up of 150,000 men. I apologize for pressing you again, but please, urge your government to do the same.
You can't wait for the war to start. You must introduce conscription now.
Our trades unions are resisting strongly.
We've convinced our people there's real danger. It's the job of your politicians to do likewise.
If you can see your way to making some gesture toward the Italians, my instructions are to tell you that the Prime Minister will announce the introduction of conscription on Wednesday. You see, our pledge to the Poles is serious.
Oh, my dear Sir Eric, this is wonderful news.
Oh, please, convey our...
Yes, tell Mr. Chamberlain that we're delighted, truly, truly delighted.
Damn the English! They will burn in hell for this. They have their empire. Why are they poking their noses into Poland?
But how do they think they'll get help to the Poles?
Oh, because they must be confident they can get an agreement with the Russians. That's how I despise the Russians. Unless we beat them to it.
You mean deal with the Russians?
Why not?
Crawl to the Bolsheviks?
Wait. Who's to say we can't make a pact with Beelzebub to drive out the devil?
We need to get a clearer picture of your intentions.
Of course. And we'll talk in detail after lunch. But I must say the situation is extremely grave. A clash between Germany and Poland is inevitable.
Oh, surely if you'd be patient, the Poles could be persuaded to concede Danzig.
No. It's too late for talk. We want more than that now. We want war.
Italy simply cannot go to war now. Not materially, politically, military, or psychologically. Now, we have repeatedly told you we will not be ready for war until 1942 at the earliest. Oh, pardon me. I'm sorry. In Italy, salads are not usually dressed with flour and vinegar. Well, I must say, it does come as something of a surprise to us that the situation should have become so unexpectedly grave. Does the Fuhrer have a date in mind?
Yes, within 15 days. At the latest, by the end of this month. The advance must be completed before the rains turn Poland into an impassable swamp. It could happen at any moment. The next time they provoke us...
Excuse me, I wonder if I could have a glass of mineral water with gas.
The next time they provoke us, we will attack and solve the Polish problem once and for all.
Well, that will surely provoke Britain and France to come to Poland's aid. This is not just my opinion. The Duce feels this very strongly.
I am unshakably convinced that Britain and France will never fight. At most, they may make some theatrical anti-German gesture.
Absolutely.
Well, they do seem to be turning for help to the Russians.
I think you may find, Foreign Minister, I have even that situation in hand. Please tell the Duce I consider myself personally fortunate to be living at a time when, apart from myself, there is another statesman alive who will stand out in history as a great and unique figure.
They're dragging us straight into a world war.
Must tear up the alliance and throw it in Hitler's face. And then the rest of Europe will recognize you, Duce, as the natural leader of an anti-German crusade.
No, no. Honor compels me to march with Germany.
Your prestige is being diminished. They're making you play the role of second fiddle. And if Britain does get its alliance with the Russians, then we have lost this war before it's begun.
Yes, yes, you're right. What do we do?
We declare openly that we have no intention of participating in a war that we neither wanted nor provoked.
Yes. No. They will say the Italians are cowards. And what if Hitler's right about Britain? If he gets Poland, there'll be territorial gains for us too. We can't change sides now. We're not prostitutes.
You know, Bill, I do enjoy our lunches. Isn't it ironic the only person I can really talk to in Paris is the American ambassador?
So you're still having trouble with Barney?
I simply don't trust him.
Fire him.
My government wouldn't last a week. He's too popular. I shan't survive a war, you know. If the Poles cave in, then the entire German Air Force will be launched against France, and our defenses are totally inadequate. I shall be made the scapegoat. God knows what'll happen to me or to my children.
Oh, don't be silly, Edward. Nothing's going to happen to you.
Bill, I need your advice.
Mm-hmm.
You know how these talks with the Russians have been dragging on all summer?
Yes.
Well, now they're asking for a full-blown military alliance. And Chamberlain may be ready to drop his objection.
That won't be liked in Washington, nor on Wall Street. As the American ambassador, I should have to advise the French Prime Minister against it.
Yeah, I know all that, but what do you really think? Surely our only hope is if we rope the Russians in. Threaten Germany with a war on two fronts.
Well, I feel as you do, that in the present situation, no stone should be left unturned, even though one might find vermin under it. So you and the British, you send your generals to Moscow. Only never forget you're dealing with Stalin. It's worth a try, as long as you're as unscrupulous as he is.
Arriving in Moscow a week ago, the Anglo-French mission had high hopes of negotiating a military alliance with the Russians. But the talks have adjourned. It is not known what is responsible for the impasse.
What? They want us to do what? Just wait a moment. Not so fast. The British and the French want us to agree to the Russian army entering Polish territory in case we're attacked by the Germans. It's unbelievable. It's outrageous. If we let them in, they'll never leave. To hell with the Anglo-French-Soviet treaty. You're our ambassador. You tell the English and the French that it's out of the question. But yes, all right, let the French send someone here and I'll tell him a thing or two. I'll tell him this. With the Germans, we may risk losing our freedom. With the Russians, we lose our souls.
I told you this would happen. The British should have tied the Poles down before offering their support. We must get an agreement with the Russians. And soon. There's only one solution if the talks in Moscow are to continue.
Really? And that is?
Not to take the Poles' objections too literally. I know the Polish mind. When they refuse their assent, what they really mean is, go ahead with the Russians, only we don't want to know about it. We shall have to tell the Russians the Poles agree. And hope they will believe us.
The Russians are still stalling, Führer.
There's only 1 week left. The invasion's set for next Friday. Has anyone spoken to Stalin?
Stalin? Our ambassador speaks to Molotov. Whether Molotov has spoken to Stalin, we don't know.
I will write to Stalin.
Write to Stalin?
Think about it. He's a pariah. No civilized head of government has spoken to him since the revolution. He's not a head of state. He's not even a head of government. He's just secretary of the Communist Party. Nobody writes to him.
Brilliant.
I will ask him to receive you the day after tomorrow. I will write to him, man to man. Adolf Hitler to Joseph Stalin.
For 20 years we've been the outcast of the world. But no longer. Suddenly we have 2 suitors. Why? What game are they playing?
Joseph Vissarionovich, you know as well as I do what Chamberlain really wants is to sit back and see Russia and Germany tear each other to pieces. The British and the French won't get their fingers burnt. They want us to pull their chestnuts out of the fire.
We have to be careful with everyone. Yes, the bourgeois democracies are here reluctantly. But now the Germans are knocking on the door. Why? It could be a plot, of course. I've read Hitler's book, Mein Kampf. He wants to conquer Russia. He says so clearly. The British could be in collusion with the Germans. Anything's possible. You never know with these foreigners. Nothing's ever straightforward.
And look how the French lied to us, saying the Poles would let our troops in.
I know what we'll do. We'll continue negotiations with the British and the French. And while that goes on, you pursue negotiation with the Germans. Secretly, of course. 2 suitors. Why now? What are they up to?
Thank you for taking so seriously the instruction to wear civilian clothes. I see that some of us have taken it more seriously than others. Commanders of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. I have called you together to tell you the date of the action. German troops will enter Poland in 4 days' time, at dawn on Saturday. The first step to gain for the German people their rightful living space. Until today, our enemy had one more hope, that Russia would come to the aid of Poland. I have killed that hope. Stalin yesterday invited von Ribbentrop to Moscow. We wish him well on his historic journey.
Gentlemen, Führer, I take my leave of you.
Let us thank the Führer, and let us assure him that the armed forces will do their duty. Heil Hitler!
What I do is made possible because I had the confidence of the German people. But I could be eliminated at any time by a criminal or a lunatic. That is why now is the hour of Germany's destiny. What a contrast when we look at the democracies. There are no outstanding personalities in Britain and France. I saw them at Munich. Our enemies are small fry, no masters, no men of action.
It is Germany's desire to see German-Soviet relations based on the high regard our two peoples have always had for each other.
Do you want to reply first?
No, no, comrade, you reply. You alone are entitled to do so.
You talk of the high regard our two people have always felt for each other. Foreign Minister, for years we've poured buckets of shit over each other. There's no need for us to make fools of ourselves. We should address at once the question of substance. Namely, to define the German and Russian interests and the territories that lie between us.
I suggest we draw the line here. For you, Finland, Estonia, Latvia we must discuss. Below this line, we take Lithuania. Now Poland. We must draw the line of demarcation there carefully. The Poles are becoming more and more aggressive. If they provoke a war, it's essential our interests do not clash.
Foreign Minister, spare me the diplomatic language. We have agreed in the fate of Poland. We each take half. We have, I think, put forward our proposal for the partition line in the draft final clause. It has to be in the part of the pact that won't be made public.
Yes. Yes, that is for the secret protocol.
Yes.
It's going well, Führer, but we still have one last sticking point. They want two ports on the Baltic, Libau and Windau.
What?
Libau and Windau, in Latvia. They're ice-free, that's why they want them.
I can't find them. Oh, yes, yes, I've got them. Yes, they're welcome to them. They're welcome. Anything.
I know how much the German nation loves its Führer. I should therefore like to drink his health. I give my word that the Soviet government will never betray its partner.
The Führer.
The Führer.
I have them now. I have them.
It's extraordinary. I've never seen the sky so red.
It looks like a sky of blood. This time we won't bring it off without violence. Just a small war for Poland. Enough to make our people value what they've gained. For the nation to be strong, to be one behind its Führer, it must be forged in blood. Yes. Now Europe is mine.
The Russian behavior, without a word, in the middle of negotiations with us does rather call into question their good faith, doesn't it, Edward? I've written a personal letter to Hitler that our guarantee to Poland stands. Where does it really leave us with the Poles?
Where indeed? This pact now makes it extremely difficult for us to honor our guarantee.
Yes, there are one or two technical hurdles to be cleared before the treaty with Poland is actually signed. Is it not possible to use the delay?
We are committed to Poland, to the hilt. Public opinion is totally behind this. And what's more, Hitler is about to strike. His army is under orders to attack Poland tomorrow or Saturday.
Then we shall have to do something to make the Poles see sense quickly. Their rejection of the German claim to Danzig is reckless. If we sign the treaty, it'll only stiffen their resistance, and then they'll never make any concessions. We must force them to think again. It'd be a kindness to them in the long run.
We can't suddenly turn away from a friend we've pledged to help when she's in trouble.
We can't go on making concessions to Hitler. We have to draw the line somewhere.
The treaty with Poland will be ready to be signed tomorrow. I take it I go ahead.
It's the futility of it all that's so frightful. After all, we can't save the Poles. All we can do is carry out a war of revenge which could destroy Europe. However, the idea of our failing to honor our obligations to Poland is unthinkable.
Our officers are incompetent, our equipment is obsolete, our air force is useless. Duce, you heard the chiefs of staff. For once they managed to tell you the truth. Our arsenals are empty. We need fewer slogans and more supplies.
I don't know. I don't know.
How bad is our supply situation? Well, if Hitler is so keen on war, then let him make up the deficit. I have a list here. It's enough to kill a bull. If a bull could read it.
Someone must have made a mistake. A slip of the pen. Someone's hearing's at fault. These demands are impossible.
We've checked with the Italian embassy. These are the figures the Duce says he needs.
All this? 7 million tons of petroleum, 6 million tons of coal. Not tomorrow. Tell the Duce his requirements cannot be met. Very well, I will smash Poland without help.
Of course you can, Führer. The British are still bluffing.
With all due respect, they are not.
Excuse me, Führer, the press chief. He says it's urgent.
Yes. What? What are you sure? Chamberlain has just told the British Parliament that he has signed a treaty of mutual assistance with the Poles. What is the use of all your embassy people if I have to learn such things from the press? Can our troop movements be stopped?
Stopped?
Yes. Yes, stopped. Stopped. Can they be stopped?
Some of the units are already on the move. The army is poised to cross the border at 4:30 a.m.
Can they be stopped?
I suppose. Yes, I believe they can, Führer.
Issue the following order. Invasion day postponed. Further orders follow. We have to prevent the British from intervening.
Edward, it's good to see you with a smile on your face for a change.
Yes, I must say, for the first time, I'm really optimistic. We've called Hitler's bluff. He expected that Russian treaty to frighten us off. Now that he finds that it hasn't, he's backing away from his war plans. I believe we've had the first view of the beaten fox.
My dear Dollarus, welcome. It's good to see you again. Thank you for coming all this way. Where did they reach you?
At my house in Stockholm.
Well, once again, I need your help. Only now, it's really urgent. The situation is serious. Since Ribbentrop's triumph in Moscow, he can do no wrong in the Führer's eyes. I can never even see the Führer alone these days. Ribbentrop is a warmonger. He's convinced Hitler that because of our treaty with Russia, the West will never intervene in Poland.
And you don't agree?
I am a man of peace. We haven't slaved all these years to gamble everything recklessly in an unnecessary war. Besides, the British and French will never let us get away with another Czechoslovakia.
But what can I do?
I had it all arranged to meet Chamberlain myself. I had an aeroplane standing by, but Ribbentrop talked Hitler into putting a stop to it. So, you must go in my place. I shall arrange for you to see Chamberlain, and you really must persuade him that Germany does want friendship with England.
And if I can't?
Then we'll all hang.
Ambassador, my conscience compels me to make this final effort. I want to make a move toward England which would be as decisive as the move I made toward Russia.
I must tell you that your pact with Russia in no way alters my government's standpoint. We will not go back on our word to Poland.
Poland's provocations have become intolerable. These Macedonian conditions on our eastern frontier must be abolished.
Is that a threat?
No. A protective measure. Today, thousands of Germans are being slaughtered by the Poles. England has made an enemy of the man who had wished to be her greatest friend. If there are any threats, they come from the British government. They want war.
I object to that in the strongest terms. Mr. Chamberlain has always been a friend of Germany.
What about your war minister, the Jew, or Belisha? Can't imagine he's our friend.
Surely the proof of Mr. Chamberlain's friendship is that he's refused to have Churchill in the cabinet. As you say, the hostile attitude towards Germany is the work of Jews and does not represent the will of the British people.
Polish problem must be solved. And will be solved. But afterwards, I want to make England a large, comprehensive offer. I'm a man capable of great decisions, and in this case, I will also be capable of great action. Sir Neville, tell your government I accept the right of the British to their empire, but also tell them this, that if ever the need arises, I am ready to put the full power of the German Reich at its service. Sir Neville. I'm by nature an artist. When the Polish question's settled, I should like to return to my work of creating things of beauty. I'm not really a politician at all. I beg you to urge your government to take my offer to guarantee the British Empire seriously. If you wish to fly to London for consultations about this, I shall be happy to put an aeroplane at your disposal.
let me say with confidence, Herr Hitler is sincere.
Well, thank you very much for all your trouble, de la Rousse.
Thank you very much for seeing me, Prime Minister.
What on earth did you make of that? Another of Master Hitler's tricks.
Trying to use a neutral Swede to make us take these offers seriously.
We ought not to dismiss Hitler's offer out of hand. He's merely asking for Danzig, which after all is only a city of Germans. If that's all it takes to avoid a war, it's a rather good bargain.
I find that extraordinary.
Well, I doubt whether any other terms would secure peace. If we want to induce him to forfeit his wish to destroy the Poles, to pocket his pride and to send his army home, we have to give him something.
Don't you understand, Rab? The time for appeasement is over.
I pledge my support to the British Empire. This is my last magnanimous offer to England. De la Rousse, you know England well. Why do they say no?
Your Excellency, in my opinion, it seems to me the difficulties arise out of a lack of confidence in you and your government.
Idiots. Have I ever told a lie in my life? If there should be war, I will build U-boats. U-boats, U-boats. I'll build aeroplanes, aeroplanes, aeroplanes. War doesn't frighten me. If there should be no butter, I will be the first to stop eating butter. De la Rousse, you know my side of the argument. I don't think the British ambassador understood me. You must return to England and explain my generous offer to the British government.
Sir Neville, everybody has seen your telegrams, and I thought it right. The whole cabinet should have the opportunity of questioning you directly. Yes.
Sir Neville, in your opinion, does Hitler have any doubts that if he invaded Poland, we would make war on him?
I think no reasonable person could now have any doubt on that subject.
Do you think that if we could persuade the Poles to enter into direct negotiations with Germany, that might avoid war?
I believe it might. But the ordinary German does not want war. I'm convinced that the alliance with Russia is deeply unpopular with them.
Do you have much contact with the ordinary Germans, Sir Neville?
My butler is a German.
Sir Neville, when you return to Berlin, please make it clear to Hitler that we stand by the Poles. But we will do our utmost to persuade them to negotiate.
You should have heard, Henderson. I am able to give you, Excellency, a definite assurance that the Poles are prepared to negotiate. Britain's taken the bait. We've knocked them out of the game. And the French won't do anything without them. So now, we have to bring off nothing less than a masterpiece of diplomacy. I spent all the night thinking about it.
I still think we are simply wasting time by negotiating, and time is short.
No, no, no. I will accept the British proposals for negotiations with Poland, but I will make two minor conditions. First, I will ask for a plebiscite of the population of Danzig. Everybody knows that the majority are Germans and that they'll vote to join Germany. That's so reasonable. Britain will have to accept. Poland will reject, the split will be wide open, and the Anglo-Polish alliance will be finished.
Such a gamble. Can't we drop this all-or-nothing game?
All my life I've played for all or nothing.
But all this takes time.
Wait till you hear the second condition. It's a real inspiration. I will give the Poles one day to send a plenipotentiary, just one day. They'll never accept that. And if they do accept it, the timetable will run as follows. On the 30th of August, the Poles will arrive. On the 31st, we will present our proposals, which they will find impossible to accept. And on the 1st of September, the military invasion takes place as planned. Britain and France will do nothing. Either way, it's...
But this reads very much like an ultimatum. The Poles are being given barely 24 hours to prepare their negotiating position, choose their plenipotentiary, and get him to Berlin. I must lodge a formal protest.
How long would it take for a Pole to fly from Warsaw to Berlin? 90 minutes, no more. My soldiers are asking me, yes or no. My army and air force are ready to strike. The Polish plenipotentiary must be in Berlin by midnight tomorrow, Wednesday, 30th of August.
We've just had a telegram from Berlin. Ribbentrop has sent for Henderson.
What time is the meeting?
Midnight.
Is this finally it, I wonder? Yes. Curious, isn't it? Usually there are endless red boxes. Now when I need distracting, my people can find me nothing to do.
The time is up. Where is the Pole your government is supposed to provide?
It was unreasonable to expect the British government to produce a Polish envoy in Berlin within 24 hours. His Majesty's government has made representations to Warsaw to prevent further frontier incidents. We urge Germany to adopt the same policy.
The Poles are the aggressors, not we. You've come to the wrong address.
We also urge you to give your proposals to the Polish ambassador.
No. We're not dealing with messenger boys. We don't have time for all the delays that entails. The Polish government must send a senior negotiator with full powers. Then we will hand them our proposal.
I have one or two further points. My government urges both the German and the Polish governments to refrain from troop movements during the negotiations.
That's an unheard of suggestion. Have you anything else to say?
British government possesses information to the effect that Germany is committing acts of sabotage in Poland.
That's a damned lie of the Polish government. I can only tell you the situation is damned serious.
You have just said damned twice. That is not a word for a statesman to use.
What did you say? I have here 16 points which were drawn up as the basis for our negotiation with the Poles. I will read them to you.
I should like a copy of that text to send to my government.
No. I cannot hand you these proposals.
I'm sorry, I must have misheard. I asked you for a copy of that text to send to my government.
No. It's out of date, since the Polish envoy has not arrived, and the midnight deadline is past.
Let me make sure I understand. He wouldn't give you these 16 points, but you think he might give them to me. And you want me to call on Ribbentrop now?
Yes, his deadline lapsed at midnight, but he might give you the proposals if you went now.
It's out of the question without instructions from my government.
Then contact them immediately.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God, don't you understand? We shall be at war within a few hours.
Look, if you stand by your pledge to support us, it'll be folly for Hitler to invade. If he's mad enough to do so anyway, his generals will overthrow him. So, calm down, Sir Neville. Get some sleep.
We interrupt this program with an important news flash. In the past few minutes, News has come in of an attack by Polish troops across the German frontier near the Gleiwitz radio station, indiscriminately killing German frontier police who opposed the intruders. Several Polish soldiers were also killed. Fierce fighting continues.
Hello? Hello? They've cut the lines.
In the early hours of the morning, the German attack began on several Polish cities. At 9 o'clock, Warsaw was hit by high explosives and incendiary bombs. The German excuse for the invasion, the alleged Polish seizure of a radio station at Gleiwitz, was described by the Polish authorities as a tissue of lies. As their people fled shattered homes, the Polish government called on Britain and France to honor their Treaty of Guarantee with immediate military assistance.
Oh, very well, I'll speak to him.
I've seen Herr Hitler and Field Marshal Goering. Hitler says he wants further discussions with your government. And if you agree, he wants me to come to London again.
Mr. Delarus, any discussion while Germany is invading Poland is out of the question. The only way in which a war can be stopped is for German troops to be immediately withdrawn. I must get across to the house for the statement. When I get back, I shall need to speak to the Italians and to Bonnet. Everything we do now has to be absolutely coordinated with the French. Without them, we may find ourselves fighting the Germans on our own.
"18 months ago in this house, I prayed that it would not fall upon me to ask the country to accept the awful arbitrament of war. I fear that now I may not be able to avoid this. The responsibility for this terrible catastrophe lies on the shoulders of one man, the German Chancellor. He has not hesitated to plunge the world into misery, to serve his own senseless ambitions. I do not propose to say many words tonight. The time has come when action is required. The German government has been informed that unless it is prepared to withdraw promptly from Polish territory, His Majesty's government, without hesitation, will fulfill its obligations to Poland. It now only remains for us to set our teeth and to enter upon the struggle.
Tell the Poles we are ready to help them. I want to cable the ambassador in Warsaw to tell the Polish government that if they were to ask for supplies, we would react favorably. Until we find out if we really have backed the right horse, there's no harm in a little insurance policy.
I beg your pardon?
You heard. Don't look so shocked.
Yes, a conference. The Duce is proposing a conference for next Tuesday, all relevant powers to attend. We must do something about this Polish-German situation before we all get dragged into the conflict.
Please convey to the Duce Mr. Chamberlain's deepest appreciation for all his efforts to find a solution, but speaking personally, I can't see us attending a conference while German troops are on Polish soil.
Well, could you put it to Mr. Chamberlain? I have reason to believe the French may not be averse to the idea.
I don't see how we can refuse this conference. It's the last hope of avoiding a war that could lead to the death of millions of Frenchmen, wreak devastation on French soil, and even imperil Western civilization itself.
I, for one, would rather resign than accept. It's perfectly obvious they're angling for a second Munich.
The British have not ruled it out.
Liar. The British won't attend a conference unless the Germans withdraw, so there's absolutely no point in pursuing it.
We must show that every avenue to peace has been exhausted. If the price of avoiding a war in which thousands of French children will die is a little piece of Poland, well, so be it. Maybe Danzig will have to be sacrificed. As it is, all we're being asked is to delay our deadline for a few hours, for a few days. What does it matter?
Actually, from a military point of view, some delay would be a godsend. The evacuation of women and children is not progressing as quickly as we'd hoped. We need another 48 hours.
The Duce is suggesting a standstill of troops. This conference could be exactly what we need.
I'm not coming to any conference with ultimatums hanging over me.
But Führer, the notes you've had from the British and the French are not ultimatums. No time limit has been mentioned.
All right. Tell the Duce if I'm to come to this conference, he must give me until Sunday evening to make my preparations. You see? This will give us some time. And when the conference takes place, if it ever does, we'll have Poland on her knees.
We must take these French difficulties seriously. How long can we delay issuing a final ultimatum? We want to do it now. They've asked for 2 more days. The Prime Minister and I have drafted a compromise. A reply to the Italians accepting Mussolini's proposed conference, but only on the basis of a withdrawal of German troops from Polish soil, of course, and agreeing to extend the time limit until noon tomorrow.
It's too late for compromises. The public don't understand these fine distinctions. The difference between the last warning you issued yesterday, Prime Minister, and the ultimatum we are discussing today. As far as they are concerned, we should be at war already. I'm sorry, Prime Minister, we must go to war tonight. If we delay, we will face a public outcry.
We certainly must not risk the national consensus we have created. But any split between us and the French will be exploited ruthlessly by Hitler.
Prime Minister, the dictators make demand after demand. If we hesitate now, we shall only be faced with war in a year's time. I oppose any delay past midnight. Yes, the Germans have been known to ask others to make their mind up quickly enough.
Give them till midnight tonight. No longer.
Clearly, the cabinet is unanimous. There will be an announcement in both houses this evening that unless Hitler agrees by midnight to accept our conditions, we will be at war. I'll clear it with the French.
Has there been any reply from the Germans?
We're waiting.
Are we at war or not?
Sorry.
Is it true that Poland...
I'm sorry.
We've got to put an end to all these rumours, Chancellor.
There'll be a statement later.
What's happening?
The statement's been postponed. The French seem to be taking Mussolini's conference idea seriously.
Well, well, well. Has Mussolini snatched the brand from the fire yet again?
Chancellor, is the PM going to issue an
There'll be a
ultimatum?
statement later.
The Prime Minister.
The warning message, which I read to the House yesterday, was delivered at 9:30. No reply has yet been received from the German government. His Majesty's government will be bound to take action unless German troops are withdrawn from Polish territory. As to the limit of time within which it would be necessary for us to know whether the German government was prepared to effect our withdrawal, we are still in communication with the French government.
Speak for England! Hear, hear! Order! This is indeed a grave moment. I believe the whole House is perturbed by the right honourable gentleman's statement. I am deeply disturbed. An act of aggression took place 38 hours ago. I wonder how long we're prepared to vacillate. At a time when Britain and all that Britain stands for are in peril.
What's the point in having a cabinet if the French can overrule it?
We're all geared up for an ultimatum, and all he said was, we're still talking to the French.
We're in real trouble. And so is the old man.
Yesterday he had them eating out of his hand. Today they're baying for his blood. In 30 years in the House, I've never seen such a switch.
You must tell him, John. You've been the closest to him on this. It's you he'll listen to.
I really am worried. His political judgment has always been so good. I'm sorry to disturb you like this, Prime Minister, but we wanted to catch you before you went back to number 10. Our colleagues would like to hear from you personally why so grave a variation from the Cabinet decision has been announced without a reference back to the Cabinet.
I do apologize, John. Gentlemen, since the Cabinet finished, Edward and I have been on the telephone to Paris. Constantly. Continuously.
Prime Minister, the Cabinet was unanimous. We should issue an ultimatum to expire by midnight. This just looks like dithering.
I'm afraid the French have just flatly refused to agree to midnight. They say the Germans will immediately start bombing Paris. We will have the blood of French children on our hands.
Why are they so behind with their evacuation? They must have seen this coming.
It looks to us as though Bonnet is trying to rat and take us with him.
I do not see how we can go to war without the French. We'd be very exposed. Am I right, Chancellor?
I'm sorry, Prime Minister. I sympathize with your difficulties. But I'm afraid I agree with our colleagues. I believe you cannot ignore the fact that the House and the country demand action now.
Monsieur Bonnet wants us to ask Hitler to make a symbolic withdrawal, to move back just a few miles.
He must be joking. And, don't bother to wake the Duce.
The delay your government insists on is entirely unacceptable to us. And I must tell you, Ambassador... Yes?
The Chancellor of the Exchequer is here, sir.
No, don't go. I want you to hear this. Yes, Chancellor. Yes, go on, John.
I've come from the House. Prime Minister, the Cabinet really is in revolt. I'm sorry. I have to tell you your position is being challenged.
The French are now suggesting we delay having our ambassadors in Berlin deliver the ultimata to Ribbentrop until noon tomorrow, to expire some hours later.
It won't do.
But the difference is only a few hours. Even Sunday is much earlier than we think suitable for actual belligerency.
The House of Commons meets at noon tomorrow. The Prime Minister must announce either that Hitler is withdrawing or that war has begun.
We must now decide to risk having to declare war in advance of the French, or meet the House at noon with the ultimatum still unexpired.
I think, Prime Minister,
You know our view.
I propose, then, to instruct our ambassador to deliver a note at 9 tomorrow morning, requiring a reply by 11 a.m. Does anyone disagree? Right, gentlemen. This means war.
To suspend all aggressive action against Poland and withdraw German troops from Polish soil by 11 o'clock British summertime. A state of war will exist between Germany and Great Britain.
What now?
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help us produce more compelling historical content like this, please like, comment below, and share this video with fellow history buffs. And of course, be sure to subscribe to help keep history happening.